Many questions through my to your life are examples of that. So, say for instance, you constantly keep meeting men that will not have commitment issues and will not commit. They are nothing more than a reflection of your inability to commit to yourself. Okay? Let's see, who is this? Let me see. Somebody requesting to go live. Who is this? I don't know. I don't know how to do it. How do I do it? I think I did that right. Let me know if I did that right. I don't know, y'all. Hey, I did it right. Yeah. How are you, darling?
I'm good, thanks. And I just want to thank you. I just wrote down what you said. What we believe at our core is what we attract.
Yes.
And I appreciate your point that if you keep attracting men who don't commit, then that means you haven't committed to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you really teach principles that are true for not only straight women, straight men, but I am a gay man who I had to, it's the same principles. You attract what you think at your core. And I'm really having to work on myself because what you just said is true of my life. I've attracted men who are unable to commit fundamentally because I have not committed to myself.
Mm-hmm.
So this includes meditations. This includes living a life where I'm committing to myself, listening to my beliefs, saying affirmations, and just creating that mindset.
Yeah, whatever you know, because you know, what's your name?
Roan.
Okay, Roan, whatever you know that within yourself, you're supposed to have been doing your meditations and affirmations. You know, it's a sense within you that you know you're supposed to be doing. So when you know that, it'll kind of ring in your head, but or in your your spirit, but you'll put it off and you'll keep putting it off. Okay, I get it to it. Like I did today. I know my behind is supposed to be in my garage working out. I have no excuse. I have equipment in my garage. However, I told myself this morning, you know what? I'll work out maybe around 3 o'clock because, I do it that time. I didn't do it. And I'm sitting here right now and I looked at the scale and I put on 2 pounds, all because I did not commit to myself. So I said, you know what? Even right now, what you see got me taking, I'm taking all my supplements. I got a bunch of them. And wasn't consistent. I've gotten consistent. But I said, no matter what time of day it is, I have to do it. But what I even did for myself was I wrote out a schedule. And in my bathroom, there's a schedule of what I'm supposed to do before I even pick up my doggone phone to look at Instagram or Facebook or anything. So my body has been off since time change. So I've been going to bed at like 6:30 in the morning. It's been crazy. But so now I found once I start putting myself on a schedule, my sleeping patterns has changed. Now I took a late nap today, but you got to remind yourself to put you first. And so anytime you meet somebody, male, female, gay, or straight, they are always a reflection of what you're doing. Always, 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 always. And we get mad and try to blame everybody else, but we don't look at, damn, I'm really not committing myself. That's why a lot of women got upset with my video that I did about, are you a fake? if you're not getting dressed like you do for everyone else. And I think I was talking maybe over somebody's head, a lot of folks' head, because what I was really saying was, how is it that you will get up, put your makeup on, get dressed to go to work, you will shave your legs and your lady parts and all of that because you got a man. But when no one is looking, that's not who you are and what you do. They thought I was simply talking about from attracting a man standpoint or looking good. It had nothing to do with looking good. It had everything to do with you examining how you actually function. When people are not looking. That's what it was all about. So when you look deep, that's why when people say, I want a real man or I want a real woman, are you presenting a representative? Because if you're saying, like for me, I get dressed and I get dolled up every day. Why do I do that? Because that's who April Mason is. She doesn't need to take a break from it because that's who I am. It's like eating. We eat every day because that's what we do. That's who we are. We got to eat. So we don't need anybody to tell us to take a day off. Oh, it's Saturday. Oh, I'm taking a day off from eating. No, even if we decide not to eat solid food, we might decide to juice. But guess what? That natural instinct in you to put something in your mouth is a part of who you are.
Yes.
That's the mindset
That's
that
the
where I
point.
want people to understand. It's not about a look or getting up, getting dressed up, but a lot of the ladies were like, why am I wasting that? So what you're saying is getting up and getting beautiful every day is a waste to yourself,
Right.
but it's not a waste to those that you go to work for or the man in your life. That's why so many people, especially men, I hear say she changed once I got with her, once I married her.
Because that wasn't her core.
She was never that.
That wasn't her core. For me, it's been responding to the wrong text messages, responding to text messages that shouldn't be responded to, and asking myself, why am I really responding to this text message? I'm responding to it because at the core of me, I'm desperate and I think I can't get any better. And I have to go into that. Why do I think that? Why do I feel this urge to respond when this person hasn't shown me they're worthy of my response? And I'm giving off at my core is desperation.
And I can appreciate your honesty in that because that means you have done some real soul searching. And the thing is, you're okay with saying, yeah, I'm a little thirsty right now. I'm a little thirsty right now. But I understand that I can be honest with myself in that. And so instead of trying to put on the mask and act like I'm not, let me figure out what's causing this level of desperation. Why do I feel like nobody wants me? So the desperation and thirstiness is a byproduct of something deeper.
Deep.
Yeah. That is something deeper. So that's the thing. Have you figured that part out?
I'm figuring it out now. I know, I'm figuring it out now. I just, that's why I'm single now and I'm just working it out. And no, I haven't figured it out. I'm still in the process.
And that's okay that you're still in the process. I had to figure out why I was constantly getting rejected. Because I'm like, I'm cute, I'm smart. What is it, right? Or why was I attracting men that were quality casual guys? They were good men, but they wanted to keep it casual. I had to realize I had to go all the way back to my childhood and remember that I felt abandoned and rejected by my family.
Wow.
Then I remember dealing with the abandonment and rejection and not feeling good enough because for those of you that don't know, I actually wrote a book about it. I dealt with molestation from the age of 5 to 17. So when you deal with something like that, it snatches and pulls out of you, the innocence. And what it does is it makes you feel like nobody protects you. Nobody loves you. So I went out seeking a particular level of protection, but I was constantly meeting men that wanted to use me because they saw what I carried. I didn't see what I carried. So I would always attract very considered high quality men on paper. But the thing was, it was more of I can use her because I always attracted visionary men. But those visionary men were not always there for me. It was, she knows how to make money. She knows how to amplify. She knows how to do these things. So I was wondering, why can't I have that guy, but yet
to support your vision?
Not even to support my vision. It was, why can't they see me beyond what it is that I do? And then I had to realize, April, you thought you were only good enough based upon your ability to do, not that you are good enough as is. So my selling point was, I can amplify any man. I can do this with any man. So, of course, visionary men that want to make money, they'll utilize that. But what I wasn't doing was valuing the woman on the inside that I was and saying, no, if you don't like her, then, that's not it. We're not going to do that. So even down to the point where back in 2000 10, I was in LA, and a friend of mine who was a celebrity dating coach, we were talking about this guy I was dating, and he stopped me. He said, April, why do you continue to date Bob the Builders? And I was like, what you mean? He said, every guy that you've told me about, they needed you in some way. He said, a Denzel or a Shaq or a man like that will be able to appreciate all of you because of how you are. But a man that doesn't understand, why do you choose him? And I had to realize, it took me a while to understand it, to figure it out. It was because I was dating men that I felt I was better than, so I didn't have to face rejection.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. I didn't have to face rejection.
And you thought back and you knew the men that you dated, each one of them you knew for a reason they were each not as good as you. You were better than them.
And then here's the thing. They all had a problem with me. Because I'm like, the very thing that make you like me. See, here's the thing. When you show somebody what they can do or what the potential you see in them and they're not ready to live out that potential, they will start to resent you for showing them their greatness. It happens every time. That's why I tell women, do not date a man with potential.
That's what you said yesterday with Tim on.
Yeah, we don't fool with potential. Right. If he has to be in it. And one of my good friends, Katie Bow from the radio here in Atlanta, he told me maybe in 2012, we all had a business meeting. We were talking about men. I remember, I'll never forget, we were sitting at Cheesecake Factory. And we were talking about men came up after our business meeting. He's like, sis, you need a man structured like me. I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm a man that I'm going to be in radio. This is what I do. I've been in radio for a long time. I'm just not where I need to be in radio. So a woman like you coming into something that's already established takes it to that next place. That's why I say I don't fool with people. I got to build.
Potential.
If I can't, because I know what that I'm built for. And because I understand that, and that's something that people, you got to realize, ask yourself as well, what type of person am I built for? So the dude that has no vision, he wouldn't be able to appreciate me. The man with the vision, in his vision, and needs to help go to that next level in his vision, can appreciate me and give me the world. And be committed and faithful. Especially if he's at that point in life where it's like, I done had all the women I needed to have. I done everything I needed to do. I need a woman that can see what I can't see in myself. Well, I can see it in myself. I just don't know how to get there. That's not building a man. And a lot of women, they get it. But people get it screwed. You don't. At this age, I'll be 45 in June. They ain't building ish. If they have potential and ain't living in it, Ms. Mason, I'm blind. I can't see nothing.
They have to be living in their potential. There's no question they have to be living in their potential.
Yeah, they have
and you can kind of see that from the questions you ask them. If you ask them what their vision is, you ask them, and they explain it to you, you could tell whether they're potential or whether they're in it.
Yeah, you can always tell. And for me, like for instance, and I told the story, I think last week about, on Monday, about this guy I was dating. He was, when I say he was so fine, it was like 6'5", 6'4", muscles, you just want to touch him. He was just all of that, right? But we got along when it came to joking, when it came to, more just kind of general stuff. But when I started digging deep, we were having dinner one night, and he said, I said, honey, so tell me what angers you or triggers you or something like that. His response was to me, April, you're not going to life coach me to death tonight. I said, I'm just asking you a question, Doc. I said, if you're trying to spend time with me, these few dates we've gone on have been cool, but they've been surface. And so I can't hang around the surface but for so long.
Right, but for so long. And
so I asked him, and he couldn't answer me. I said, what makes you, I said, what's your biggest fear? He didn't have anything to say. And I said, I know you retire in a couple of years. So what's your plan? He had one. That was it. I was like, I got to walk away from all that man right there. And I walked away. I was okay with that.
I'm just thinking about how I would answer that question. There's a school in Jamaica that I really want to give to. I know some of my retirement is going there. Some of my retirement is going to the books. Some of my retirement is going to books I've written in English that I want translated to Spanish. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of things. And you have to find somebody with passion. What are they passionate about? What do they fear will not happen? What are they going to work very hard to make happen? Yeah. You got to find that they have to, what we've heard in the church called be on one accord. Yeah. You know, I like what you said yesterday with Taman about common interests. And your point about not having a Instagram profile that is private where nobody can see it. Mm-hmm. People should be able to see what your interests are. Yeah. From a page that is not private. You know, what are you interested in? What did you go out to see? What did you read? And if you go on my Instagram, it's very clear what my interests are. Marcus Garvey, Black History, and teaching that to the youth. Yeah. So you got to have common interests. You have to have a passion with whoever you're in a relationship with. Common. Yes. And that's so important. That is so important. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. You're welcome. I appreciate it. Figure out what that thing is, though. Go deeper and figure out that thing. Because my thing was, and I meant to say this part. When I start realizing while I kept attracting men that rejected me, I can remember clearly being 18 years old, dating this 23-year-old, thinking I'm grown. I'm having a good time and all of this stuff. And I used to go to his house. I met his mom. And then one day he invited me to a picnic. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to a picnic with my man. He had a little car. He had a little, back then it was the Mustang 5.0. He was doing his thing. I got to the park. He saw me. He waved, hey, how you doing? But he treated me general because he brought his real girlfriend. General. And his mom kind of looked at me and was like, baby, I'm sorry. But I felt rejected and not good enough because of that. Like, why is it that you can spend time with me throughout the week, but when it comes to bringing around your friends and your family, you know, I'm not good enough for that. So that played out. Those memories played out. That energy stuck with me for a very long time. And so I constantly kept attracting men that were nothing more than a reflection of what I needed to work on. So once I got into the self-love of who April Mason is, I see a lot of women writing about how they're getting these quarantine bae texts. Quarantine bae. I was about to send one, and then I said no. I have not gotten not one. My phone, well, I'm dating, but my phone has been dry when it comes to people just randomly or me even randomly, you know, texting somebody that. Because it's like, you know, this is where I am in my life. Sex is great. Yes. Excellent. Especially with somebody that knows what they're doing. Yes. And that can receive all of you. However, I'm at a stage in my life that I'm what's called a demisexual. And a demisexual. Emotional attraction. Yes. And for those that don't know what that is. Yes, that's how you have to have emotional connection. So I'm not the woman that can just call somebody and say, hey, I got an itch, come scratch it. No, I need somebody that wanted to be my Friday night and my entire Saturday and part of my Sunday. Okay? So I'm so glad you found it. I want that energy, you know. Yeah, don't sell yourself because you're handsome. Young man, you're a very handsome young man. So at the end of the day, you got to remember, people can sniff out low self-esteem and desperation. And what will end up happening, they'll give you enough to get what they want, but then you don't hear from them until they want something else again. So make sure you look in the mirror and say, I am Rome. If you cuss, MFing, whatever your last name is. Yes, and this is who I am, and I love me, and anybody that I attract love me. I say this stuff when I'm leaving the house. Like when I leave, I'll say, everything works out for me. My day is okay. You know, people move out of the way for me. People offer to assist me. I meet several of April Mason fans that have read my books today, and I'll go right on in there. I said I'm the baddest woman in the room. Everybody caters to me, like all of that when I leave the house. So if you can't look in the mirror at yourself and say, I will bang the crap out of her, or I will bang the crap out of him, looking at yourself, you can't expect people to view you in a particular way. When I leave the house, I'm like, oh, I am the sexiest thing walking.
I am this, I am that. I give all myself all the adjectives to describe Miss Mason. And I don't believe in being humble. And people have heard me say that. And this is what I mean. This is why I say that. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you exactly. Okay. I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Because I grew up in church, and Christianity has taught us to be humble. Be weak. Yes. It's taught us to be weak. It's taught us to not value ourselves. So this is what the true meaning of the definition of the word humble: having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. Lower someone in dignity or importance. Why would I call myself humble and lower myself for importance? I don't have to be humble, nor do I have to be arrogant. I can be confident, and I know who I am. And so I tell people, when they ask me, so how do you think you're good at what you do? I say, oh hell, I'm great at what I do. I'm the best at what I do. You really are. I'm not going to sit here and play. Well, I give it all to the Creator. Hell no. I was smart enough to take what I was given and utilize it. I'm not humbling down for nobody. I'm not dimming my light for nobody. Period. And it doesn't mean that you walk around like I'm better than everybody else. But when somebody steps to you, they should be able to feel your confidence. If somebody asks you if you're good at what you do, hell yeah, I am. I'm the best at what I do, and you ain't gonna find nobody better. Really, and that's how I live my life. And so what I was saying was, with church, you got to remember what you're constantly saying over and over and over again. I'm humble. I'm humble. You constantly talk about how humble you are. Humble yourself. What you're doing is putting that in your subconscious, and it causes you to be humble in every other thing that you do. So what we do in one area of life is what we do in another area. So why am I going to be? How can I say I'm humble but I'm abundant? What? How? I'm lowering my importance, but I'm abundant. Like, people don't pay attention to what they're saying. So I stopped using humble along. Be humble. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I don't even act arrogant. People don't know the difference between arrogant and confidence. But I sure as hell ain't humble. So you got to walk into that mirror and look at yourself, and whatever area that you have an issue in your life, write the opposite in an affirmation. So you said you had you felt desperate. So this is what you do. Write down. I'm feeling desperate. On the next side of that, on another line, you write selective. No, you don't even say that. You say something more to the effect of, I am desired and wanted by all. Everyone see the men that I want me. You have to say what you want. And so I tell people, be honest with yourself and write down your biggest challenges. Which, if it's money and you have an issue with money, you write why you have an issue with money. I had an issue with money because church. You gotta suffer for a little while. You gotta give all you. And I was raised to where everything was about suffering and lack. I had to change my money story to where my money continued to flow. Okay? And so it's all about writing down, being honest what your issue is, and look at the people that men have come into your life, and look at the pattern. Look at what it is. And that's what I did. I remember I was dating for 2 years, and I looked at all of the men that I dated in that 2-year period, and it was always the same thing. They couldn't connect. So I had Mr. NFL. Mr. NFL, we started dating. Everything was good. But what happened? He came and told me, April, before I met you, I got a girl pregnant. We couldn't connect. It was a trainer that I dated. Everything was good, but he had just gotten out of a relationship. Couldn't commit. It was another guy. He had the Captain Save him situation going on. So I didn't need to be saving, so I wasn't attracted to him. Couldn't commit. Who else was it? The list goes on. For 2 years, the men that I dated, and I had to look at, April, what was the common theme with all of them? And it was, they couldn't connect. They couldn't commit. Then I had to ask myself, and then I got played. I talked about it. I got played by a married dude. Told me he had been divorced 4 years. He lived a life like a single man. Had me out here in these Atlanta streets. Been to the house, everything. There was no reason for me to not believe what he said. But I realized after it all happened, April, these men that you can list, the common denominator is you're not committing to yourself. So you're constantly attracting people that reject you and commit to you. So maybe not commit to you. So maybe you need to go a little bit deeper and see if you have not healed from the rejection that you had as a child from your parents and other people growing up. Because you know you a bad woman. Like, you know what you have to offer. Why is it so hard to connect? And it was not because it's not what you say from the conscious mind. It's who you are on a subconscious mind. And so I had to really start to rewire my subconscious mind. And that's how I started attracting the type of men that I like. Not just the ones that are like me, but the ones that actually like that. Because a lot of times we attract men that people that like us and be like, man, he'll be perfect, but I'm not attracted to him.
That's exactly what's happened to me over the past few months. You have to rewire the subconscious mind. That's something you said earlier that I'm really working on.
Yes, so you got to rewire. And you have to be so in control of your thoughts. That's why everybody run around here with about the coronavirus. I'm living my life every day as though ain't nothing going on. I done put my sundresses on in the house, like all spring and everything. I'm living my life as though it's golden, as she would say.
As Jill Scott said.
Yes. So thank you so much for tuning in.
You're welcome. Thank you. I really appreciate your energy. I'm going to buy your book, and I plan to review your book for my blog, for my website, drronfraser.com.
All right. Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And now here it is that I'm engaged to a woman who lives in Pennsylvania.